Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Muscle of Yarn podcast. It is Tuesday, April 13th. And we're going to confuse everybody by probably dropping this episode prior to Friday. And
For good reason.
For good reason. And also surprise people because we haven't podcasted in a while, like probably a month.
Like a month.
Yep.
At least. Yep.
Yep.
We've had stuff going on and haven't been able to, but we're here.
We're here.
Everybody is healthy.
We're all healthy.
Wood.
Yes.
For now.
Yes.
We're doing well.
Yes. And I think, so if you're seeing this podcast and you didn't get a notification from YouTube that the podcast loaded, you may have to go back out and resubscribe or reset your notifications.
That little bell thing on the...
Yeah. YouTube does some weird stuff. And I feel like every time it updates, there's some sort of little like hiccup with its notification pieces. And I only know this because my mom watches the podcast and she is like, well, you guys haven't done a podcast in like months. And I'm like, yeah, actually we have. And she's like, well, I'm not getting emails. And I'm like, well, you might have to go back out and click the notification bell. And, then it's, yes, it's very frustrating. It's not us. It's YouTube or your device. But you might have to do that if you didn't get an email, because the same thing happened to me. I subscribed with one of my email addresses so I know when the podcast has gone up, and I haven't got a notification for quite some time. So I also need to go and deal with that. So anyway, a little housekeeping as we've completely derailed this whole podcast now. So this is a podcast about yarn and knitting, crocheting, spinning, weaving, fiber-related stuff. And Must Love Yarn, if you're new, is an actual bricks and mortar yarn shop in Shelburne, Vermont. We also have an online store, so you can shop remote, even if you live in Vermont, or if you don't live in Vermont and want to come see what we have. And we are out on social media as Must Love Yarn. So Instagram, Ravelry, Facebook, maybe Twitter. I don't know. I think things push to Twitter from those other platforms. So you can find us in lots of different places. So. Yep. And we do have 2 virtual knit groups that are happening right now. One on Wednesdays from 5 to 7 and one on Sundays from 1 to 3. So feel free to join us. We have people joining from all over, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's their fun group.
Yeah. And I'm Angela.
And I'm Kelly.
And you can find me out on social media, Instagram and Ravelry as Junior Bird Kid.
And you can find me on Instagram as Kelly O Spins and on Ravelry as Kelly Spins.
And feel free to track us down on both of those platforms, with my normal caveat that is my personal Instagram page. So you'll see a lot of other stuff out there for fiber only related content. Follow the store. So
mostly fiber only.
Mostly. Yeah. Mostly fiber. I just knocked one of my knitting bags off with my wild gesturing arms. I'd kind of gotten them under control because of the cord for the headphones, but whatever. So we have some stuff coming up.
We've got some stuff.
Store. So probably makes sense to start the podcast with that stuff.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay.
Right. So do you want me to start? Well, I can start chronologically and go that way. So we have a new Seasons of Vermont box that is going live on Friday. So Jen has been working her magic again and putting everything together for this bag. And this year, if you haven't seen one of the other podcasts we did from earlier in the year, we talked about how a lot of times we do like a theme for the year or somehow just to kind of tie it all together. And so this year we're doing for so we do the boxes every 2 months. So we did one in February, and so we're doing one for April. And this year we're doing color as kind of our unifying theme. So for February it was red, because we have Valentine's Day, we have Go Red for Women. So it just kind of it worked out really well. So this time it's green, and a lot of times in the spring you think of green. We've got St. Patrick's Day, and things are definitely greening up. My grass is going to have to get mowed here soon. So anyway, without further ado, let me show you the fun things.
And before
in this
Kelly
box.
jumps
Oh
into
yes.
that, just want to let people know. So last year we did these boxes. They had a bunch of different goodies in them. They did have a relatively high price point. And so what we're offering this year, and if you checked out the February box, but we're like, ooh, price is a little bit too steep, go back out, because we retooled sort of that page, and we now are offering sort of a smaller
Yep.
option that's basically the yarn, the pattern, and the candy and the pin.
Yep.
So a much smaller price point, more affordable. You know, we were getting some feedback like, I love the box, but I have 700 bags, also guilty of having 700 bags. So I get it. And so going forward for these boxes, there will be two options. You can get the whole shebang, or you can get sort of a smaller,
Yeah.
smaller
Basically
version.
the yarn and the pattern to knit that with, and the pins, because we thought the pins were really fun, and of course some candy, some goodies, some chocolates and stuff, because you know we all like to have a little snack
Exactly.
from our knitting. So I'm going to show you the kind of entire kit, and then you'll see the pieces that are going to be included in the small kit yet. And I don't think we have pricing yet. I meant to ask Jen. I meant to message her last night and find out what the pricing is going to be. But I think it's going to be I don't know. I don't want to guess because I don't know.
I mean, you can go and look at what the prices were last year, and you can go and see what March or February is for the large box and small box, and kind of get a sense of, you know, the difference there. And it would be in those ranges.
Right.
Yep.
So to start, the bag.
Oh,
look how fun that is.
Gosh.
It's beautiful.
Did Joan make those?
Yes.
Oh,
yes. So these are
gorgeous.
from Joan Fitzhugh. You can follow her on Instagram. She's Fitzhugh perfectly. So her last name, Fitzhugh. Fitzhugh. And so this is her bag, and I love this fabric.
Oh, she finds the best fabrics.
She does. Yeah. So she did these. They're quilted. They're lovely. And they have just a nice plain muslin interior fabric. It's really lovely. So that's the bag. Love it.
So adorable.
And it's a nice little small project bag. So hats, mittens, socks, that kind of thing. It's a great size, which fits perfectly for our project this time. So the yarn this time, you get 2 skeins. They're 50-gram skeins, and it is from Bobolink yarns. So if you saw last month, we actually did Live from the Lamb Barn with Katie of Cloverworks Farms, and she is the brilliant mind behind Bobolink yarns. She so graciously agreed to do the yarn for this box. So this is obviously a natural color, and then she hand dyed some lovely greens for us.
It's a gorgeous green.
Yeah, it's a great like summery spring green. So hopefully the color is showing up fairly well for you guys. So this is Scuttleship Romney fingering weight. So Scuttleship Farm, they are actually not too far down the road from me, and they're right on Lake Champlain. They have a lovely little farm. You should follow their Instagram because they have a sheep that regularly gets out of its fence and goes for a swim in Lake Champlain. Yeah. And there's video of her like out swimming in the lake, and then she does a loop and comes back.
I'll have to go
Yeah.
check that out. Did you
Yeah.
see the social media stuff of there was a cow that had figured out how to unhook the electric fence? Like figured out that she could put her mouth around the part where you grasped your hand and do this and unhook the electric fence. And she was undoing the electric fence and the cows were getting out. And the farmer was like, I can't figure out what's happening here. And they caught it on film and they were like, oh my God.
They're so smart. There's always one in the bunch that will do that. I had a horse that would take the electric insulators, and they had a little tab in them, and he could very carefully pull that tab out and take down strands of the fence without getting zapped. He was way too smart for his own good. But anyway, I digress. So you get one skein of each color, and let me give you details. It is 100% wool. It's Romney. Fingering weight, 50 grams, about 220 yards per skein. So there it is. It's a really
Nice.
lovely,
Gorgeous.
lovely, lovely yarn. So Vermont yarn, it is very, very Vermont. And the pattern, so the pattern that Katie has included is a really lovely mitten and hat pattern. You can only do with the yarn that's included in the kit, you can do either the hat or the mittens. So there is the pattern. It's super sweet.
Awesome.
And then the other thing, so Jen did a variation on this. She charted and did a really sweet flower on the mitten.
Yep.
So it's basically the pattern.
And this is a point at which Kelly has all of the stuff and information. So I can just start talking. But
yes. So Jen is going to include this chart in
awesome.
with the kit. So if you want to do this variation on the pattern, you can. But it's really a super sweet little pattern. So yeah, you'll have enough yarn to do either the hat or the mittens.
And with the mittens, the yarn's held double.
That's right. Yeah, she did do that. I don't know if it is in the, let me look. One skein each, size 2 or 3, so must be not.
I mean, one option is if you want to do everything or both the hat and the mittens, if you're buying the full set, is to add on the small set and you would get more yarn.
Yep.
So
you could do that if you wanted to do a whole matching set, which would be cute. So anyway, that's that. That's the yarn. That's the mitten. So
nice.
There it is. Isn't that cute?
That is cute. Love it. I do need a new pair of mittens.
These are going to be super, super warm because with the yarn held double, and it's really, and the color work, it's a nice kind of snug pattern. And yeah, so that's that. All right. Oh, ready for our pin?
Now I'm so excited. These are so amazing.
Look at how cute that is. So it's our yarn balls are like these cute little plants popping up out of the grass.
That's what happens this time of year.
Mm-hmm. The yarn balls, wouldn't that be great if the yarn balls popped up out of the grass?
Amazing. We could probably make that happen.
So from Lunaroma, we've got some hand sanitizer.
Nice.
Here, which is still very appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh my God, I love this. I'm going to have to buy the kit just because, well, not just because of this. I love the color of the yarn and the bag and everything too. I'm a big fan of green. So I'm going to take this out of its thing. But so from Elizabetta Studio. So she's the woman that she does a lot of our cork. She does, well, all of our cork pieces that we've had done. But this time, it's really cute. It has a little magnetic clasp, and you can use this as a bracelet or a shawl cuff. It's a 7. I think she said the final size measures 7 1/4. But
Oh my gosh, look
It's
at
a little
that.
cork bracelet / shawl cuff.
I
And
want.
I know, right? And it's got this really cute decorative charm on here.
Oh my gosh, that is adorable.
Yep. And it's cute. So the little clasp is upside down, but it's got her logo on there, the Elizabeth Studio.
Those are,
And so,
that's amazing.
isn't that lovely? So she sells these, not this exact one, but she sells these on her website. She's got all kinds of really lovely stacked bracelet looking pieces. So if you're interested in any of her other pieces, go to elizabethastudio.com. So
Nice.
so that's her card.
Nice.
And yeah, on her website, she's got all these cute little charm pieces. They make great gifts, and they're so reasonably priced. She does such a lovely job with her stuff. So, oh, and then here's Joan's card. This is in the bag.
Nice.
So that's that. Yeah, and then there's all the candies, which I didn't grab because, well, I didn't want them hanging
There's
around.
chocolate and maple candy and all of like the super delicious stuff.
Yeah, they're little chocolate eggs this time because of,
We
the
could get
season.
that because of Easter.
So anyway.
Uh-oh.
Are we frozen?
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. We're
My
back.
internet connection is unstable. What?
Really?
I'm at work with like a hard line to my laptop.
Yeah, but Comcast has been working down there. Their truck was parked on. Just frozen again.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Good job, Comcast. The one day we're able to actually connect to do a podcast and you're messing up my internet. Wah, wah.
Oh, there she is.
So
Now she's back.
the question is, which screen is freezing on the recorded version? Probably Kelly, because it's on my
Yeah, because it's on your computer. Yeah.
So
I know it's really funny because your voice is not on my screen. Your voice hasn't been synced.
Oh, good.
So yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Fun times, fun times, fun times. So
the box releases Friday
at
noon. That's usually when we do them, Friday at noon. And well, Jen's, I know, been doing some posts and getting stuff ready. She took a bunch of pictures, so she's going to be posting that stuff this week. So if you follow us on Facebook or Instagram, you can see all of that info there. The other exciting thing that we've got going on, and it was very last minute from like everybody, but local yarn store day is Saturday. Believe it or not. Yeah. So it's going to look a little bit different for everybody just because, we're still in the midst of the pandemic. And I know some places are actually spiking. I know Vermont's numbers haven't been great, but as more and more people are getting vaccinated, that's a good thing too. I had my first shot last week. We're not going to talk about Ange's. Poor Ange. Nope. So, but we're doing a little something. We're not doing anything huge, but we are going to recognize local yarn store day.
And we're going to have stuff for both online orders and in-store orders because we know a lot of people still are shopping online. And we know a lot of you don't have a local yarn store and buy things from us, which we are incredibly grateful for and appreciate so much. So we want to give back to all of you as well. So those of you that treat us as your local yarn store and can't come visit us in person, we want to give you an opportunity as well to participate. So that's one of the changes that we're doing this year. Normally, everything is geared towards the walk-ins, the in-store, have to be there in person type approach. But
yeah, this
year
we're
making up new rules.
That's right, because we can. It's our store.
Exactly.
And that's what we're going to do.
Exactly.
So for anybody who comes in the store or shops with us online on Saturday, which is what, the 17th? I think it's the 17th.
Yes, I believe so. Let me just confirm. The 17th.
So
Yep.
anybody who places an order with us online on the 17th or shops with us in store on the 17th is going to get a free copy of the sock pattern I did last year for one of the Seasons of Vermont boxes. And it's a great little summer shorty sock. You can make it as tall as you want if you'd like.
Yep.
So that if you'd like a sock pattern, that's what we're going to do. If you don't want the sock pattern, that's totally fine. But it's going to be available if you want it for anybody who does an online order. And also for anybody who shops online with us or in store on Saturday, your name and your email, because we'll need to be able to contact you, is going to be entered to win a fun prize. What is that prize? That prize is actually the Seasons of Vermont box kit that sock pattern comes from. So I love this.
I know that bag is so gorgeous.
So we have one of these kits left. Actually, we have some if you wanted to buy it. If you don't end up winning and you want to buy it, we still have a few left of these. Actually, we have a few of October left, and December almost completely sold out. That one was great too.
Really popular. Yeah.
But anyway, you can find that stuff online because there's a link to the Seasons of Vermont box kits. Anyhow, so what is in here? You may have forgotten since it's been quite a while. Yes. So this fun tote bag that Cat's Paws made for us. Not only did she make these, but she designed the fabric for these too.
So cool.
Yeah. So this is truly one of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
So tote bag, one of a kind fabric from Cat's Paws, who's awesome.
Mm-hmm. One of our local suppliers of all things fabric related.
And Vermonty, because this is a Vermont box. You get the sock pattern, which, if you shop with us, and because you would have, you're going to already have this, but you can have another copy. The awesome colorway that Fiber Stash did for us. Yeah, she just makes some of the best colorways.
She knocks it out of the park every time.
She does. Yeah. We just say, hey, Christy, we need you to do X for us. And she just exceeds our expectations every time because she's just brilliant with color. So this is lovely, lovely green tones with some blue in there with a little bit of purples and just a tiny little specks of pink in there.
Gorgeous.
It's really lovely.
Gorgeous.
Really lovely. So this will work up beautifully in the pattern, or if you have something else you want to use it for, excellent. Though the Caitlyn Birch Glassworks for that month, I've got to unwrap it. She did these really beautiful, she does hand blown glass pieces, and she did a shawl stick for us, which it's a little on the thicker side. So you could use it as a shawl stick. You could use it for a sweater closure, especially this would be awesome on a super bulky sweater, like that super bulky grandpa that Joji Locatelli did. We've got a sample of that in the store. If you didn't put buttons on it and you use this as a closure, that would be really gorgeous.
It would be beautiful.
Or it would be a great hair stick too.
Yes.
That would
just
be another.
Stick in a vase on your desk. It's decoration because it's so pretty.
It is. It's really lovely. She's done buttons for us before. She's done all kinds of really cool things. So
that necklace in the December box, so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is one of the other things. I'm not gonna wrap it as nicely as she had it. Sorry. Hey, please stop. She's such a little nosy loudmouth. She's a little busybody. She has to know everything that's going on in the neighborhood. So our house sits really far back from the road, but that doesn't matter. If somebody's walking by, somebody's driving by and their car sounds funny, or if the tractors are going by because we live next to the big farms, she has to let us know about them. Okay, so I had just showed you from Elizabeth Studios the really cool shawl cuff bracelet that's in this next box that's releasing on Friday. Well, in this one, she did these super fun stitch markers. These are cork, and then she's got this really fun little wood holder for them.
Yep.
So you just clip them right on there. So they've got like make one left, make one right. Let's see. Oh, she's got where the like a yarn over an SSK knit two together. So you can clip those on your project if to remind yourself not to forget to do those. Like I'm doing the sleeve. You'll all see my project that I'm working on soon, and I'm decreasing for the sleeve.
But those are a nice way to like remind yourself without having to recheck back at your pattern all the time. Is it supposed to be an SSK here? Is it supposed to be a knit two together? And it's a nice reminder if you set your project aside and then you come back to it, like you wouldn't necessarily have to recheck the printed pattern. That's always a good idea, because sometimes you completely read things. Ask me how I know. But just it's a good quick just check if you are sort of in the zone and going through your decreases to not have to be reminded which one is which. You can use those markers to be your reminder.
Yeah, definitely. So the other thing we did last year is we had a photo inspiration, and that was kind of how we did a unification of the box. So people would know what the theme was, our makers would know what our theme was, and could kind of go from there. So we turned those inspiration photos into greeting cards. So everybody got greeting cards, and if people got every one of the Seasons of Vermont boxes, by the end they would have a pack of 6 greeting cards. So so those are really cute. So this was the inspiration photo, one that Jen had done, which is really lovely.
Yep.
And then there is a spray from Luna Roma that she did, and it's a mask spray, just to freshen up your mask throughout the day or for whatever.
Exactly.
So that is, and then the goodies, of course. Oh my God, she is just not going to stop today. Hold on. I will be right
your
back.
dog's barking, my internet's unstable. I mean, it sounds like trying to podcast in Vermont these days, or do anything in Vermont these days. So, that's exciting. I hope my internet stability, corrects itself a little bit, because I have some court stuff I have to do later this afternoon. So hopefully it gets itself under control, because that would be not cool. So anyway, that prize, we'll draw that at the end of the day, or maybe Sunday. It depends on how many orders come in. It may take us a while to pull everybody's information to put in a box, or in a hat to draw out. That would probably be fun to do it like on a Facebook Live.
Yeah, depending on what comes in, I might be able to do. Well, I could probably put it all together and draw it on Sunday, because I'll kind of keep a running list anyway on Saturday, because I'll be at the store.
Well, what we might be able to do, and you guys love how we plan on, we talk all this stuff through on the fly, because that's apparently what we do.
That's what we do.
If we did little like paper slips, so when somebody purchased at the store, they would fill out their name and email, and then as an online order came in, when we were filling those, if we put that information over, we might be able to do it at the end of the day.
That's the only thing that we'll have to set like a cutoff time, because
right, for the online orders.
Yeah, because the online.
Let's give them the whole day. So
that's kind of what I was thinking.
Midnight to midnight.
Yeah, because I can just keep track of. I'll bring home the slips with me from the day, and then any orders that come in overnight, then I'll just add those. Because sometimes we have people that shop late, and
or they live somewhere else.
If they're in California, 3 hours later than our time zone, then it makes difference.
Any orders placed between midnight Eastern time and midnight Eastern time on Saturday, or 11:59 Eastern time, on the 17th will qualify, and then we'll draw live or do a Facebook Live or something for the drawing on, sounds like Sunday. So
maybe I'll do it from the sheep barn.
Oh, awesome. Do it. That would be amazing. And people could see sheep too, and a drawing. It would be a
Right.
twofer.
Right.
Awesome.
Yep.
So that's cool. So those things are going on Saturday. Plus we have a lot of new spring yarns in the shop. So if you haven't taken a look at the website recently or come in store, like there's so many new things. Kelly was just telling me about some new yarn that came in at DK weight that I'm gonna have to go check out. So
Yeah, that's a cotton from Katya. It's lovely. It's like a brush cotton. It's so soft. So I thought it was,
nice.
and the colors are good. They're like they're kind of like a subdued color. I mean, there's still some really, really good bright-ish colors, but they're kind of toned down from what a lot of some of the cotton colors sometimes tend to be. So yeah, I thought they're fun.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You know what? Do we have any other announcement things? Oh, the bags.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
we fingers crossed that the shipment arrives. It's supposed to arrive on Friday.
Yes.
So assuming it arrives on Friday.
And assuming I get it in the system and everything in, which I
should be able to.
Shouldn't be a problem.
We are going to have some new reusable shopping bags with our logo on them. They're the stuff stack kind. We've had them before. They're super convenient because you can like make them like this big and they fit in your
toss them in your bag, your purse,
car, or whatever. They don't take up too much room. So we're going to have those available for purchase. They're not going to be a huge amount of money. Like, I think we're still kind of trying to sort that out, but like $6, $7, $8, maybe something in that neighborhood. Not a huge amount. But what we're going to do, because if you're not aware, Vermont's gone to no plastic bags. We
have to charge
by law to charge to give you a paper bag. So yay. So we want to kind of have an option for folks and create an incentive. So we're going to have these bags. If you buy one of these bags, every time you come into the store, if you buy something and bring your reusable bag, logoed bag that we're going to start selling, you will get entered into a drawing to win a gift card. And we're trying to decide if we're going to do drawings monthly, if we're going to do them quarterly. We haven't quite gotten there yet, but we will be doing drawings to encourage people to bring our logoed bag, also to buy our logo bag. So we'll just be upfront about that, but just kind of as a way to try to make it easier for folks and provide an incentive. So we hope that we can roll this out on Saturday for local yarn shop day. It depends on whether or not the bags arrive. Everybody hopefully understands all of the still shipping issues that are happening out there. They could arrive on Thursday, a day early, or they could arrive in 2 weeks. Like that, there's like literally nothing we can do about it. So fingers crossed they come on Friday when they're supposed to. So we would have them available for you on Saturday. But if they're not here, keep an eye out for them. We're going to be rolling those out as a, fun new reward kind of thing. Thank you for shopping with us. Please bring our reusable bag that we want to sell you.
Because we don't like having to charge people for a paper bag. I mean, come on.
No. So anyway, so that's also hopefully going to be new this weekend.
So that's a fun thing, and we're going to kind of keep going with that. So, every time you use your bag, you can you'll be entered to win. And the more times you shop, you can,
the more entries you get.
Some people who, forget a needle or forget this or forget that. Use your bag, you get entered.
Fantastic. So. But that is going to be the rule, that you have to have that bag with you in order to get an entry. So, but
and we'll keep you updated as to what the drawing time frame is, because that we had a business meeting this weekend. This is when all of our ideas.
We had a business meeting Sunday. We've already ordered bags. We hope they're here Friday. Like, this is how quick sometimes these things end up trying to get turned around. So we had a couple of details that we still need to sort out on drawing frequency, but there will be drawings either monthly or quarterly.
Yep.
So new thing that's happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do it quarterly because we just started a new quarter.
That would be good. Yeah, because we just started April. So, but we'll see.
Doesn't matter. We'll talk about it.
We'll see how popular it is too. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Some people may be just like, whatever. I don't care. Give me my 10-cent bag.
Yeah. So I suppose we could probably show you some knitting content because we've done a lot of talking and not very much. You've got your sheep shirt on. That's awesome.
This is a Matterroot Shetland sheep shirt.
Nice.
And I had to get it because,
so cute.
So Matterroot is she's in Maine, right? I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I've got a couple of her. She does some really awesome project bags. But she designs the artwork. Yeah, so there's one. Yeah, she does some really cool stuff.
I got this at Rhinebeck 2 years ago.
Yeah, she goes to Rhinebeck, and
it's gonna say last year, and I was like, oh nope, we didn't go last year.
No, we didn't. Yeah, if you don't hit up her booth early, then like the first year that she had a booth there, it was like gone in like in hours. And then
I think a lot of the vendors have sort of switched to putting part of their product out on Saturday and then holding some of it back for Sunday, so the people that come Sunday don't miss
well
out.
And that's what she realized, because that was the first year that she did it. She was just like sold out. She had a few t-shirts and stuff left in different sizes, but like all of her project bags were gone. So the second year she like upped the amount of stuff she brought, and she did hold back some for Sunday too, because not everybody can go both days. So and usually Sunday's a little less crowded, so some people will wait and go on Sunday. So
yep. Yeah.
But anyway, so Matterroot, my Matterroot Shetland shirt, in case you wanted to know where it was from. It looks kind of like Tilly, especially when she was a baby, because she started to gray out, but her face was still really dark. But her face is much later now.
So cute. So what have you been working on, Kelly?
So I have been working on, I don't remember when I started it. Did I start a project page? I think I did. So when the new Modern Daily Knitting Field Guide came out last month, I saw it and fell in love with a lot of the patterns that are in it. Mary Jane Mucklestone is the one that did the patterns in it, and it is Lopi is the kind of unifying theme. And she did a lovely, lovely cardigan called the Day Tripper cardigan.
And you do love a good Lopi.
I do, but you know what? And well, I'll tell you about the yarn. I didn't end up using Lopi, but it was my original intention to use Lopi. So that's the Day Tripper cardigan.
Nice. That's gorgeous.
And it is knit in the round, and it is steeked. So the gauge that she ended up using for it was, if you've done the stopover or the sigla. I did the sigla, which is the one with the little triangles. The sigla was top down, the Day Tripper was bottom up. This one was top down. And so she did the gauge very similarly to that, where you use a needle that you would use more for like a bulky, so like 10 and a half. And that was the gauge she was going for, but you use the Let Lopi, the lighter weight, worsted weight Lopi. So that it knits up really quick, and it makes a light, lofty sweater. So I ended up, I was going to use Lopi because I had some in my stash, but then it's been weird. It's been hard getting some of the Lopi. The Alafos Lopi, forget it. We can't get any of that right now. Yeah. That's the bulky weight Lopi. They've prioritized Istex in Iceland. They've prioritized making the Let Lopi right now. So the Alafos Lopi isn't being produced at this time. Once they get enough supply of the Let Lopi, they're going to switch and start doing the Alafos Lopi. So in case you wanted to know. But anyway, that didn't really have anything to do with my decision. I was looking around the store. I was just wandering around. It was a quieter day when I was working, and I was like, I really like the Lopi, but I'm not like taken with some of the colors, and I've done some other Lopi sweaters. So I have one that color. I want to do this. So I walked the next little alcove over in our store, and I was like, mountain mohair. Ooh. And the colors are delicious and kind of tame. And I love how they do their colors. So they dye the colors in the wool. So then they combine those colors to create other colors.
Right. So you get
So
really subtle, like marl type.
subtle, but they're kind of like heathered, and you can
Mhm.
see the other colors in the fiber. They're just really
Gorgeous.
lovely. And I love the way they do that, because if you look at the yarn really closely, you see all of those variations of color. But then when you're looking at it far away, it reads as, whatever color they wanted to get from. So I use mountain mohair, and I did use the size needle recommended, the US 10s. And but my gauge came out much tighter
Mm,
than the recommended gauge. But I'm actually fine with that, because it's stranded color work. If I had gone up to the gauge that was recommended, I would have been able to see more of the stranding behind.
yeah.
Um, so really liking this fabric and not wanting to be able to see the stranding, I decided to stay on the 10s and not go up to probably like an 11 or maybe even bigger to actually get gauge. And I figured out the math, and I had to go up, I think, like 2 or 3 sweater sizes, and make a few other small adjustments, but nothing major, to get the size that I wanted. So that being said, let me show you. I'm going to show you the back, because the back doesn't have the steep panel in the
Right.
front, which it's not a big deal, but it does interrupt the pattern a little bit.
Gorgeous.
Isn't that fun?
Those are all mountain mohair colors.
These are all mountain mohair colors.
We've gotten some new mountain mohair colors in. I clearly need
Probably,
to come take a look.
probably since the last time you were there.
Gorgeous, Kel.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Isn't that fun?
It's so
It's
fun.
really fun. I'm digging it.
I love that rust color.
Yeah, that's spice. And
Yeah.
this is sea glass. So sea glass is my kind of next main color. This is blizzard, the background, my main. It's kind of like a browny gray color. It's really nice. And then
Nice.
I think this one is elderberry, and then maritime. There's a teeny little blip of
Like
blue
blue.
right there.
Also gorgeous.
And then there's 2 different browns. These 2
Nice.
here. That's a little bit darker than the main color, and then that one's even darker.
Gorgeous.
So I think, yeah, something like 7 colors, I think, that you use. And then the bottom, there is down at the bottom a little bit of
More
color work there. And then the sleeve has the same color work
on the
on the
cuff.
cuff.
Yep.
Yeah. So I made mine. So I'm really long waisted, really long waisted. So I made mine a lot longer. I measured one of my favorite sweaters. So she said, I think, to knit from where you put the yarn on hold for the sleeves, and then you pick back up. I think she said to knit like 9 inches until you get to the point, and then you're going to start doing the color work. I knit 13 inches because, one, I like a little bit of a longer sweater anyway. But I'm long, very long waisted.
And these are the types of adjustments that you
That you
can
can do.
make if you love like the way a sweater looks and you love the color work, but you don't like the cropped nature of it, you can add length. You have to make sure you have enough yarn. So you're probably going to have to buy more yarn and whatever that color is, but you can make those adjustments.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the really cute crop sweaters that are coming out, like you know what? It's not really a style that looks that flattering on me. But I love a lot of the color work. And so you can just lengthen through here
Yeah.
to fit and accommodate how you want your finished sweater to look and fit.
Yeah. And this it's a straight sweater. There wasn't any shaping
Waist
in the
shaping.
body, waist shaping
Yeah.
in the body. So I mean, I didn't even have to figure out where to move that to. It's just straight. So as you guys probably know, if you've been watching the podcast for a long time, my little twig sweater that I did out of Wing and a Prayer Farm, All the Single Ladies, which is also a yarn very similar to the Mountain Mohair. Actually, Green Mountain Spinnery spins it for Tammy. That sweater is my absolute favorite. I wear it like a sweatshirt all the time.
Yeah.
I'm finally gonna wash it this week, hopefully, so that I can sadly put it away for the year, or for the rest of the summer. Who knows? It may, have to make an appearance on a chilly summer evening or something.
Right.
I don't know. Anyway, so I love that sweater and I love the way it fits. So I measured it, and and the overall length was like 16 inches. So that's what I based mine on. And then it just said, I think it was like subtract 2¼ inches or something like that um, for where you want to start
The color work.
the collar work. So so I just knit until it was that.
Awesome.
And I'm going to do the same thing for the sleeves, because sometimes I am really bad at getting the sleeves just right on my sweaters. They're either too long or too short. The nice thing about doing it top down is I can try it on and adjust for that. But I am just going to measure that sweater too, because I actually got the sleeves just right on that one too.
Awesome.
So I do have to stop at a certain point before I start the color work too on here.
Nice.
But all of the decreasing is done. So as soon as it's as long as it needs to be, all I have to do is switch that color work. And then and then I'll have to steek it, which I actually may do like an Instagram live or something of steeking it.
Kelly, we could get together and have an outside steeking party.
There you go.
I have one that needs to get steeked.
Do you? Yeah. So I may end up, so keep an eye out for that.
Or we could run a contest. Kelly can do her video and I will do my video, and who can steek it better? Pro tip, Kelly will probably win. We could mash them together in one video and be like, all right, who's winning the steeking competition? That would be funny. We should do that.
Oh my God. Yeah. So if you're interested in steeking, keep an eye out for that, because I had kind of thought about maybe doing that if I can kind of get all my ducks in a row and make that happen. I thought it would be kind of a fun thing to do, because I've taught some steeking classes before, and I do want to teach some coming up. Hopefully, we're hoping that this summer we're gonna
we'll have some classes, in-person classes.
Yeah, because I'm gonna pretty much everybody at the store will be fully vaccinated before too long, by like by mid-May. We should be all vaccinated, so we'll be able to start kind of returning to some of our normal in-store activities.
Yep.
For those that are comfortable coming out and starting to do some of that stuff again.
Yep, that'd be awesome. So speaking of steeking, we'll show mine. So I have been working on Spark, because doesn't everybody knit a hefty worsted weight color work cardigan headed into spring and summer?
I did, so
yeah. So this is an Andrea Mowry pattern. It is going to be a cardigan. You can see my steek panel kind of there in the middle. This sweater right now looks incredibly awkward because it's still all together, and the top part is actually a V shawl collar, will be a V shawl collar. So there's decreases through the front part. So it's not a straight up and down cardigan. So it looks very weird right now. Because here's the shoulders are right here. So it's got this weird little like hump thing going on, which
it pulls in a lot at the neck, because when you cut it, that's gonna lay out like this.
It's gonna look like this more. Well, it'll be even deeper than this. But yeah, it looks pretty goofy right now. So I finally got the underarms all closed up and most of the ends woven in. There's a few up at the top that I'm just waiting till it gets steeked, I think, or I might need to weave them in ahead of time. I'm going to block it before I steek it. The pattern doesn't call for that, but I'd like the stitches to relax a little bit. My color work, though, I tried to do this the proper way for color work, so it's not as bunchy as it normally is. It's actually laying pretty flat. But it
looks good.
Thank you. I would still like to block it just to get it to relax more, because I don't want my steek to be bunchy, and particularly after I pick up stitches. So this is a combination of CC's wool, the gray. It's her Jacob's wool. This is just in like the natural colorway, so it's kind of like a brown gray. It's reading very gray on the screen, but there is some brown warm undertones. And then the counter color, I just used KFI painted
Desert.
desert is
Sky. Painted sky is the
painted
word.
sky, whatever the worsted weight version of that is.
Yeah.
So it's a very subtle color change. With this, you can see it a little bit. It's reads you can see the color changes better in person because it is
You can see them especially in the big
in the big
zigzag
V's.
sections. Yep.
Yep. So just, wanted something that was a little more monotone, maybe still having some fun color changes. I think I had showed before the start of a sleeve and some other yarn that I had bought, and it was just too kind of all over the place for me. And I was like, I think I'm not going to end up wearing this, so I'm going to start again.
Yeah. How cute is that going to be with, you have that that tank that has the cowl neck, it's purple, that you did last year. That is going to be really cute with that.
I have all kinds of stuff I can wear this
Yeah, you
with.
have all kinds of purple, so
stuff. And even, even something like this shirt that I have on that's more of like a green sea foam kind of color, like all these colors like play together, even just like a black tank, like it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, it'll go with a lot. It's really cute.
Super warm.
Yeah.
Once it stops looking so weird because it needs to be steeked and have the shawl collar put on it. So I'm pretty excited for that one. Super long sleeves because these are meant to cuff up, which is fine. I've knitted some other sweaters of hers with that rolled cuff, and I like it quite a bit.
Yeah, it has a very grandpa kind of look to the sweater. It's cute.
I'm probably not going to put the belt. It has belt loops and a belt. It's not really my jam. I'll either leave it open, or maybe do like one button or something.
You can get some of those cool jewel closures. I've got, those are really cool. I've got those on one of my sweaters and I like it.
So
and it just snaps. So, if you get hot, you just snap it and go.
Exactly. So, once I get it steeked and got the shawl collar on it, I can play around and see what's going to work the best. Those jewel closers, though, that might be the way to go. Those are pretty fun. Have to see how the edge plays, right? Because with a shawl collar, it gets a little more complicated, which is why I think it calls for the tie waist. But I'll figure it out. So
I bet you could still use one because right at the point of that V where it ends, where it's pulled over to the side, you could kind of have it a little bit.
Yeah, it would be off-centered.
Yeah, that would be cute.
Yeah. So
sweet.
It's probably what I'll do because that's exciting. I feel like I have like 3 sweaters going.
Okay.
And they're all like kind
of
close.
Keeping on.
Okay.
I have no more knitting, but I have another little project.
So I had been working on Pim. Is this Pim? Pim. Yes, Pim. This is from the Barocco book. So this is the V-neck long sleeved sweater using the new Barocco yarn we talked about a month or so ago. And I'm, as you can see, one sleeve in, and the sleeves don't really take that much time. This is like maybe, I think I picked the sleeve up on maybe the weekend. So haven't been working on it that long. So I get the second sleeve done, and I need to seam the sides and put the, do the neckline, and it'll be done. This would be a great sweater for spring and summer. Great to just pull over. It is a cotton. It's knitted a pretty open gauge. So it's not going to be super heavy and beefy. I will say my one feedback on this is schlubby yarn does not seam well. I'm pretty cranky after my seaming experience up here on the shoulders. And per Kelly's suggestion, we'll be finding a different yarn to seam the sides and arms closed because it was not pretty. Schlubs do not seam well. So if you're working with this yarn and you have seams you have to do, just be aware you might have an easier time if you use another smoother yarn to do any seaming.
Yeah.
So I've got that one under construction. And then I'm still working on Summer Fields. So we do have that knit along. It's supposed to close on Thursday. I'm probably going to extend it for another month because some people were kind of slow joining on and then had to get some materials. And it's one of these projects that seems like, oh, I should be able to finish this really, really, really fast. And then there's sort of these points in which you have to kind of like mentally work up to doing the thing. So you'll see in a minute what I'm talking about.
That's good, because then maybe it'll give me some time to get mine started. Because I still really, really, really want to make a few of them.
So this is covered in cat hair because apparently my cat has been laying in my knitting bag. That's nice. It's awesome. So this is a sewn and knitted pattern. So you sew the bottom of the tank and then you pick up stitches and knit for the back and the front. And so it's kind of a cool way to join both crafts together. The picking up and knitting process is a little fiddly in the sense that it's not like your standard pick up and knit with knitting needles. So you have to use a sharp tapestry needle to sort of pierce through the fabric up and over your working needle. It takes a little practice. I started with the back, even though the pattern called to start with the front, because I was like, I want my practice round to be in the back where I can't see. And I'm at the point where I need to go do the same thing on the front. And it takes a pretty good chunk of time because I found I needed to lay this out on a flat surface. I couldn't have it on my lap because you need to lay the knitting needle out on the fabric and you're sewing sort of in and out. And it takes some time to do the number of stitches across it that you need. So that's where I've stalled out. The knitting part was super fast because as you can see, this is the back. It's not a huge amount of knitting to do. And the front is probably about the same, a little bit less maybe, because usually there's, a little more of deeper V in the front. And when I get that done, then there's just some picking up and knitting again, like the collar part, which is pretty straightforward. And then I have to sew the bottom seam. So once you finish that, then you can adjust how long you want the tank to be. And then I guess I have to super hit mine with the thingy because my stupid cat. But that was super exciting. That's like white cat hair everywhere. So I'm not done. And I've kept meaning to go deal with this situation of picking up the front stitches, and I just haven't made the time, or haven't, when I have had the time, I haven't been in the right like headset to go do it, because you need to really be able to focus for the period of time to pick those stitches up.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But it's getting there. I think I'm going to extend the cowl. I'm just going to extend it for another month. I'll go make the changes on the Ravelry group because I know there's a few people that are participating, and like I said, some of them needed to order fabric, and it's some new techniques, and you have to put the pattern together, and it just come join us. It's not too late. You could actually do this in a month. I've just been ignoring mine and working on my other two sweaters.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get my my day tripper cardigan done. So Tammy is doing a barn chat with Mary Jane Mucklestone and Gudrun Johnson on the 24th, and I signed up for it weeks ago. And I was like, oh, if I could get it done, if it's not like blisteringly hot, I can wear my day tripper.
Awesome.
Of course, if it's like one of the webinar setups, then nobody will be able to see me anyway, but I'll be wearing it, in support.
Yes. Yes. Well, you could post your picture on social media and
Right.
tag all of them as
There
like,
we go.
I attended the talk in this today.
Well, it's funny because I
Awesome.
posted it on the Must Love Yarn website on, just asking what everybody was working on. And I said, this is what Kelly's working on. And I always tag the designers and any affiliated things like Green Mountain Spinnery and Mary Jane Bucklestone. And they actually, everybody all replied,
Yeah,
Modern Daily Knitting replied. I was like,
that's
oh my
awesome.
God. I know.
That's
So
so cool.
I know, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it makes it like our community so much tighter with having social media like that, because then designers can see their stuff in the wild, which,
It's so cool.
it's so fun.
Yeah.
It must be really fun for them seeing different color combinations and different yarn choices and everything. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah.
So I don't have any finished objects because I've been working on these 3 large projects
I have
the
some
last
wee
month.
little finished things.
Nice.
So for Fernbridge Farm, which is my
Hmm.
farm, I still haven't, I'm sorry for anybody who's asked, I don't have lambs yet. Next week is the due date for my ewe. So we thought we had 2 pregnant ewes possibly. One of my ewes is definitely not pregnant. So her pregnancy didn't take, but my other one is definitely pregnant. And so her due date is a week from tomorrow.
Nice.
So it should be very, very soon. Anyway, so
Awesome.
I know. So my sheep have now been shorn. The babies were shorn in the fall, and then everybody got shorn last month. So I've got fleeces. A lot of them are going off to the mill in another month or so to be turned into roving. So
Nice.
for spinners out there, I am going to have some roving available.
I don't know why I'm clapping. I'm not a spinner, but I'm
I
excited.
know.
I'm excited for
Um,
the spinners and the thought of like, maybe I'll take up spinning because I need another hobby.
so I've got so I will have that, and then I've got one fleece I think I'm going to sell as a raw fleece. It's really lovely. It's Pearl's fleece. She just has a really, really lovely fleece.
Nice.
And it's small because I was brutal with them when I was skirting them. But anyway, I digress. So when you skirt sheep, sometimes you skirt it because there's pieces that are shorter than the rest of the fleece, which Shetlands are kind of known for. They're kind of like that. They have some short bits, they've got longer bits, they've got some coarser bits. So when you're skirting, you're going around and you're trying to make the fleece as uniform as possible, getting rid of as much of the veg matter as you can, all the poopy bits, you want all those off. So, but the good skirtings you can use for lots of fun things. Some people use them for dryer balls. Some people will turn it into fluff for felting. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. So anyway, I'm putting together some cute little fun needle felting kits.
Ooh, fun. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Those are adorable.
So I've got all of the pieces now. I was waiting for a couple things to come in. But I've got all the pieces now so that I can do these little needle felted sheep kits. So I'm hoping this week to get some put together. I've got a little instruction sheet that goes in. So it all comes in a little box. You get the felting mat, you get the needle, and I got these really cool they look like little test tubes with a cork that the needle goes in so that, you can store it away and have it
Nice.
protected. I love putting this kind of stuff together.
Yeah, sourcing. Yeah, it's fun.
And so I did the labels for the boxes. And so I've got just about everything pretty much ready to go. So I've got to pack some up. So I'm going to have them on the website. I'm going to have some at the store. So anyway, and I'm going to have different color. This is actually leftovers. This is from some of Pearl's skirtings. This is her color.
So cute.
And the black is actually from Boris and Brant. So because they're completely solid black.
Nice.
So I'm going to do different color kits because I've got some of my sheep are gray, some are like this pretty fawn color. I've got the black sheep. So I've got lots of different colors. Brown because Jenny's brown. my mama, my expecting mama.
Nice.
So I'm gonna have all different colors, and there's gonna be enough fluff in the kit to make 2 sheep.
Oh,
So some of the kits I'm actually gonna include, you know, enough color of each one so that you can make different colored sheep, or you can do spots. I've put little pictures of my sheep, so if you want to, like,
oh,
for inspiration, because Shetlands come in so many different colors and patterns, it's really, really fun.
those are
Um,
adorable.
so yep, there'll be
And
enough.
it also prevents waste, right? Like this is a way to use some of the bits that can't go for spinning or roving or,
Yep,
to be turned into yarn. Like it's a
yep,
great full use of the fleece.
yep. And I mean, some people will put more of that in, but you get a much better quality yarn and roving, especially with if you have shorter pieces, if you can pull those, because that's when you get a lot of like the little neps, or
Mhm.
you'll get more pilling and that kind of thing if the fleece is different lengths. Um, so I thought this would be kind of a fun way to
It's
use it.
a great idea. And then you also don't feel like you're sacrificing your good fleece for sort of these
Yeah.
little kits. It's what a great idea, Carl.
Yeah. So these little guys coming to Fernbridge Farm website and to Must Love Yarn in person if you are interested in doing some little needle felting.
Are you going to have them packaged together and have them at the store by like Saturday? So if people are coming in
Uh,
for local yarn delivery?
I'm hoping
Okay,
to get some in the store by then. Yeah.
cool.
So if people want, they're gonna retail for like
It's
$25.
not bad.
And that will have, like I said,
That's
I'll have like the little
everything.
felting mat, the instructions, the needle for the felting and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
So
Awesome. So cool. So cool. So cute.
yeah. Yeah, they were fun.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. So much fun stuff going on. I also heard a rumor that I might be making the bag inclusion for the August box for Seasons of Vermont.
That's right.
There may also be meerkats involved. Just saying.
Right. And just getting roped in.
I'm getting roped in. I figure that's enough lead time that I can do the 15. I think I'm going to do a basket actually. So a little that would sit. So it's not going to be necessarily a bag, but it's going to be like a little thing you could put your yarn or project in.
Kind of like a yarn bowl basket.
Kind of, yeah. Something a little different. I have to make a test one and see if they'll actually fold down enough to ship them, because that's always the challenge.
Oh,
Because they're meant to stand up. So
yep.
we'll have to do a test
Gotcha.
one and see how it's gonna hold up.
For
Or if
packaging.
the people who pack the Seasons of Vermont boxes will be, why did you do that?
We can always find a box that they'll fit in really well too
Yeah,
if we need to.
but yeah, so stay tuned for that.
Okay. Excellent.
Now I have to now because I announced it on the podcast, I have to follow through, actually do it. No, I would anyway. I already committed to it. Already in. Already in. Yep. So fun time. See, we're all coming up with fun things to contribute and do here. So, with regards to the retreat, we did have a rescheduled date for September. The place where we do the retreat has had to change their model. And so they're no longer offering their space to groups like ours during the time frame which we would have needed it. So we have had to sort of pull the plug on the retreat for 2021.
Yep.
We will have to find another venue or see if the place that we had it previously is going to reopen. Some of this is COVID related. Some of it may be permanent. We don't know. So that's kind of the 2 minutes.
But we're working on it.
We're working on it. We have some ideas. There are some other options. And we're trying to be pretty cautious and just make sure things are going to reopen. People are going to be able to travel. People are going to be able to gather in a space like this before we really start making a bunch of plans. and hopefully we'll get back there because we'd love to host another one. The first one was so much fun. And we really hope that we can revive that activity.
Yep.
So, but it may be something that isn't in the works or isn't in the cards until 2022. So
yeah, most likely that's my guess, because especially the venue, which is the large part of it, just scheduling out some of the venues schedule out, pretty far in advance. So
and we're relatively limited here with the type of venue that we need.
Yeah.
So
they're either huge like conference type spaces, and we don't want that feel. We want it to feel a little bit more connected. So, and we also
they're either really gigantic or they're really really rustic or they're really tiny.
That. Yeah. Yeah.
So we're kind of like, what's gonna work the best?
Yeah.
We have a few ideas, and like I said, we're also just kind of waiting to see what happens.
Yeah.
It was a huge emotional investment for all of us dealing with this last year, with having to cancel the one in June and then having a reschedule date, and then ultimately having to cancel the reschedule date and just, cancel the event in its entirety. It was a huge emotional deal for all of us, because we so wanted to have this thing and we couldn't. So we're kind of trying to, I think, at least me, I'm trying to set it up so we don't have to do that again.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't very fun. Because I want to see all of you and give people hugs and sit next to people. So, but we can't do that till it's safe. So we're soon enough. And someday Kelly and I might be able to actually podcast together, because that's also more fun for everybody.
I know.
Including us.
Right.
Before
too long.
The Zoom thing's okay.
Yeah, it is.
It's
so
okay.
We're all everybody's over it.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody's over it.
I know. So this was probably a really long podcast with not actually that much knitting content, but that's kind of normal. There was some cool knitting content, new stuff, lots of new announcements, lots of new things going on at the store.
Yep.
So that's super exciting and super cool. So I'm not sure that I have anything else.
Nope. Before we keep you for even longer,
I know, with us just rambling on about random stuff that you're like, I don't care. Don't worry, there's like 20 minutes outtakes of us doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But I guess thank you everybody for stopping by and hanging out with us for a little bit. We appreciate you donating your time to come listen to us and check in and see what's going on. We hope you're able to come shop with us on Saturday, either online or virtually, whichever. And soon enough, we hope to be able to see lots of you in person at some of these, events that are coming up later in the summer and fall.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
All right. Till next time, whenever that might be. The middle of May next month. No, we're gonna try to we're trying to get back on a normal schedule. We've had some challenges, both Kelly and I, with our schedules and timing and things. So we'll see what we can do to bring it a little more regular. And then I'll have to be better about having more knitting content, because I'll be like, look, I knit like a half an inch on my sweater. It's the same one. Thanks.
I know it gets hard in the summer because,
things.
Yeah, I could just get so busy with like the garden, and this year I've got the sheep, and
Oh yeah.
So it'll be interesting, but it'll be good. We'll get some in there.
We'll find some stuff to do.
Yep.
Apparently we have some new cotton yarn. Come check it out. I'm sure there's some more little tanks and things that you can make.
There you go.
Should be awesome. So, all right. Well, till we are able to see you again, thank you so much for spending some time with us, and happy crafting to all of you.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.
So keep it clean. Says the person who has the most giant potty mouth on the planet.
Especially for the way that your week started.
It's been a doozy for sure. Though that seems to be the theme of the game these days for everything.
Mm.
But it's all right. As I keep saying, them's the breaks. And that's why there's vodka. So I don't know if I've talked about this before or not on the podcast because we've done so few of them in the last year. But for Christmas, I got an air fryer.
Oh, did you?
I
I've heard a
did.
lot of good things about them.
I've just been kind of poking at it a little bit and just trying some different things. You can air fry a whole chicken in that thing, and it is probably one of the most delicious chicken I have ever had.
How is the cleanup though? That was always my biggest thing.
It's not bad.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if it's the one I got. My husband got me like the fancy Ninja Foodie, like giant. It does other things like grill, and it might be a dehydrator. I don't clearly haven't played with it that much. I don't know.
If it does the dishes too, then I'm in.
That it does not do. But the basket and the sort of the pan underneath the fry basket seem to clean pretty well. So the fry basket in this one isn't that like mesh wire, thin wire mesh. It's like an actual, like, it looks like what you would put on like a grill to like do
like a grill basket.
Like but with like the holes that are like this size kind of around. So it's really easy to clean, and it's whatever nonstick, PFOA or whatever is on it, cleans easily. So while I'm giving all of us cancer, I don't know.
That's what I always wondered about those. Is, like I was curious to try them, but I definitely want one that cleans easily, because I would just think, because of how they cook, that there would be like places that you wouldn't be able to get really good and clean. Or
no, this does not seem. So the only thing that's gotten a little gunky and is a little hard to clean is like the filter on the top part. But that may also be because the first few times it didn't get taken off and cleaned. So it's kind of gotten stuff baked on a little bit, and it's got that weird, like that tacky kind of thing. And I know there's ways to get that off, and I just haven't done it because I'm not really that perturbed by it. Just like, but it's good. I mean, it doesn't use hardly any oil. I mean, it's a convection style cooker. I don't know. It's not a time saver. Like, it's an hour to air fry a chicken. So it's not like I'm saving time. But man, that thing is juicy and delicious, and just like,
that's what I've heard, that it makes the food that comes out of it is really good.
Yeah.
I've had people that have done like, potatoes, like French fried in it, and said that it's really, really good too. They're crispy, and there's not tons of oil in them because you're only using just a little bit of oil. So
exactly. I did green beans in them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were fine. Cool. Of course, I cooked them in the air fryer after I cooked the chicken, so it had some residual chicken fat to help it along. So delicious, but yeah. And it doesn't, because it's convection style, it doesn't actually heat up like the house.
Yeah.
So
which is always nice in the summer.
Yeah. I think that's where it's going to get a lot of use. It's just being able to throw stuff in it that you would normally throw in the oven and not have the house get heated up. So who's coming to see you?
I think Winnie is.
Winnie.
You can come say hi. She's not sure.
No, she's being shy.
Come on. There she goes.
Hello, Miss Winnie. Your lap doggy.
Mm-hmm.
There she is.
She can see out the window from here, so.
Oh, Yes, the all important. So in case anybody was concerned, Ella has cleared our yard of robins. You need to watch those robins. They are a threat to all. Avian hooligans
Mm-hmm.
is the funniest thing. I have no idea what is going on with that dog, but man, she is just offended by robins and will just sees them in the yard and out the door she goes.
Oh my God. Oh boy.
Defending the home turf from the worm eaters.
Oh, Ella.
Dogs are so funny.
That's funny. Willie does, but he's a bird dog, and so he points at him. He'll stand there and point at him and be like, "Look, there's a robin. There's a robin right here. Robin." Yeah, it's funny. So he doesn't end up usually chasing them. Sometimes he will. If he breaks his point, then he'll run off after him. But he usually just points at them to let you know they're there.
She'll chase them off and then come back and be like circling around, smelling where they were and like, you know, looking around like, yeah, I showed you. I'm like, okay, tough dog. Just as long as she stays away from the skunk. Our game can has picked up a skunk. So there's clearly one around.
Yep.
So,
yeah, we had one around. Willie made friends with it. This is a couple of years ago, but and we haven't seen it. We've seen evidence of it because it comes around and digs up the grubs and stuff in our yard, but we haven't seen it for a while. It's pretty cautious now that it knows the dogs are around. So
yeah, I mean that's generally our experience, is that a lot of that sort of wildlife stays out of the sort of immediate yard because of the dog, I think.
Yeah.
Except for the chipmunks, those little, they don't care. Inappropriate word.
They don't care. No, they don't. We have a heart trap, and I did trap a lot of them and just like walked them way back into the woods. And we've got a lot of, which is not good for the chickens, but we've got a lot of avian predators.
Yeah.
Hawks and kestrels and that kind of thing. We actually have seen some over the weekend.
Owls.
We actually have quite a few owls. Yeah. So they actually do a pretty good job on the rodent population around. When we first were here, we had a lot of rabbits, and chipmunks and some squirrels, gray squirrels. But yeah, I haven't seen a lot recently because
we're too wooded for the raptors to really be able to get in and clear it out. We do have owls, and the owls are around, and they hopefully take out some of those critters. But yeah, for most of the hawks and things, it's too, it's just too many trees and not enough place for them to land.
Yeah,
it's not as exposed as they
thankfully
would like.
Our we did keep the roosters that we had, and they are really, really good at keeping an eye. We've got one, and he's phenomenal. He's, he keeps the hens from fighting with each other, and he also is amazing at watching above. He's always looking around, and as soon as he sees a bigger bird fly over, he starts squawking. All of the hens like either run under the coop, because one of our coops they can run under, the other one they just run in. It's amazing to watch them when they're doing that. So
yeah,
but yeah, he's a good guy. He's a big rooster, but he's really, he's good with people, and he's pretty good with the hens. So
nice
keeps an eye on things.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm trying to think of what else. There's all kinds of, random shenanigans and other things, going on. And the weather's been so nice here, which, has created some other problems. It's super dry.
I know. I've got some stuff that I planted in the garden and I've been having to water, which usually in the spring you don't have to do too much of.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I've definitely had to kind of keep up with it. We're supposed to get like inch and a half of rain on Friday though.
Yeah,
So
well, you know, it all evens out. So we'll go from, you know, dry drought to like flooding. That sounds about right.
yeah, but then I was looking at the extended forecast and there's only a little bit of rain for like next week, I think too. It's supposed to be
Yikes.
kind of like above average temperatures and fairly dry. So even if we do get the rain, I think it looks like it's going to be.
Get sucked down into the ground pretty quick. So
Yeah.
yeah, but you know, nobody's super really complaining about this 60, 70-degree weather we've had the
I know.
last like few days. Everybody's been outside. Like it's been delightful
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
A nice
Yeah.
break from the long cold winter.
Yeah. My sheep are a little bit upset because there's been some mosquitoes and other bugs hatching.
Mm-hmm.
So they're they're going after the little sheepers.
Oh,
So
yeah.
of course, because they were shorn last month, so they don't have really long
Yeah.
fluff to kind of protect them. So they're chewing on their tummies and making them unhappy. So they spend their afternoons in the barn in the shade.
That's okay, sheep. I feel your pain. Mosquitoes will find me wherever I am.
I know.
So don't seem to bother the other members of my family too much, but
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
I guess I'm bait.
I know.
Mosquito
Yeah, it's
bait.
usually me wherever I go. I'm the one they're very much drawn to.
Yep. Yep. So we just saw an announcement that the Addison County Fair and Field Days is going to happen this year.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I got I'm on the Vermont Sheep and Goat Association. I'm a member and I got an email from them saying that most likely the Vermont Sheep and Wool Festival will be a go this
Cool.
fall, which is awesome.
That is awesome.
I know they have plans. They're probably going to change things around a little bit and they're going to have more of the vendors be outside so they can space the indoor vendors out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But so far it looks like they're planning on moving forward with the plans for it.
Nice. Nice.
So
I think most of the stuff I've seen from the governor here is that there are going to be no limits on the number of people who could attend an event like that if they're vaccinated.
right.
And that there might be limits on the number of unvaccinated folks. I think what I heard the recommendation was is if you were going to have a ticketed event is have tickets available for the non-vaccinated folks because the unvaccinated people don't count towards your numbers or the vaccinated people don't count towards your numbers or something. So it'll be interesting to see how venues handle that. And of course, you know, by when all this stuff happens, all the rules and regulations could have changed again anyway.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
So,
it's one of those things where you kind of just have to,
wait and see.
yeah. Yep.
Wait and see. And I don't think I've seen anything yet from the Rhinebeck folks. It's probably too far out.
Yeah, it's a ways out, but I haven't seen anything. I think as
Oh,
far as I know that they're planning for it as if it's a go
yeah,
for now, just because I mean you kind of have to, and then
right. It's easier to cancel than try to scramble at the last minute.
exactly, yeah.
I haven't been following as closely the New York requirements for stuff.
No, it seems like they've been opening stuff up a little bit faster than
Vermont.
we've been opening them up. So my guess is that no, you need to stay there. Now she wants to like try to climb across the chairs to come see me. Dogs.
They're just, yep.
It's whenever I'm like sitting and doing something that I don't need their help with when they want all the attention.
Mhm.
When I'm fully able to give them all the attention they want, they're like
Same with children.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Winnie. There she goes.
Nice. So you have the garden all laid out and
I've got my plan and stuff is starting to go in and
nice.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so we haven't gotten the big garden going yet, but I'm gonna put a lot of the bigger stuff in there, like, corn and later season stuff that I can do because that one's gonna,
Pumpkins.
yeah, right. That can do that's gonna take a little bit longer since it's our first year with getting that space going. But I've got the garden we had last year, which is let's see, we've got 8 raised beds. They're 4x8 raised beds. And then we've got another section that's like, I don't know, like 6x12. And then we've got another, we've got to get a new cover for our hoop house, but that space is 12x20. So we've got a
Okay.
lot of growing space
Mm-hmm.
anyway, before our new 50x50 garden.
Well, I mean, the hoop house, that, that lets you put some of those plants that cannot tolerate the cold at all,
Yeah,
tomatoes, eggplant, like some of those things in sooner rather than
yeah,
later to let them grow as long as possible.
yeah. Our tomatoes, we had tomatoes and peppers in there last year, and they were phenomenal. And I've never been able, for whatever reason, like peppers and me don't get along, but I actually did great. Well, not awesome with peppers, but pretty good with peppers last year. I didn't put in
Mm-hmm.
very many because I'm always like,
It's not gonna work.
yeah. So actually I ended up working out really well. Oh my God, the tomatoes I got out of there last year were phenomenal. And I was just like, I would pull them out and like huge, they just like every day I'd go out and get tons of
I
tomatoes.
seem to be able to grow jalapenos. Like
Really?
that's the one that consistently I will end up with a million of, and then, like 2 tomatoes. And I'm like, wow, I can't even really make salsa because I don't have, or have to go buy tomatoes. Maybe my plan for this year is I'm just going to come shop at Kelly's garden and buy vegetables from Kelly. And then I'm going to just put flowers in my garden
There you
box
go.
because whatever.
I should try jalapenos. I use them in so many things. So I should do that.
Yeah. I mean, they're the one pepper consistently that I feel like I get like 20 on a plant and I'm like, what am I gonna do with all these jalapenos? Like,
Yeah, I use a lot of canned ones for different things throughout the year for like chili and salsa,
mhm.
and I do a lot of like enchiladas and stuff
Yep,
like that where I'll use them. So
yep. Try
cool.
try the
Yeah,
jalapenos.
I should. Excellent.
Oh, there they go. Never have had good luck with eggplant. I always keep trying and I get little teeny tiny eggplants about this big. And they're very sad looking. So, yeah, you know,
I don't really eat it. I've never found recipes that I really love eggplant in, so I've never grown it.
the the challenge of eggplant is making sure it's prepared properly, and it's like it's a really long process, right? Because at least a lot of the recipes I've seen, you have to like slice it. Like if you're gonna make eggplant parmesan, you have to slice it and you have to salt it and you have to let it sit, and then you've got to rinse it off, and then you got to dry it off, and then you got to bread. Like it's like this multi-step process where I'm just like, it's, you know what, it's not really worth it.
Yeah. Well, we have so our hens are laying like crazy,
I,
and we have a bumper crop of eggs, and I've got a lot of egg customers who are coming and getting them, which is great. But we had some we keep the ones any that are like where just the shell is cracked, not the internal membrane where the shell is cracked, or if they're really small, or if they're really big, or if they're stained or whatever. Because I go through them pretty extensively when I sell them because I want to make sure I'm giving my customers the best eggs. And then if we have ones that are getting towards the end of their best by date, we'll pull those and we'll use those. So this weekend I made 8 pounds of egg pasta. 8 pounds.
That's a lot of flour, Cal.
Yeah, 8 pounds. It's a lot of eggs too. And I did a lime tart too. So
Ooh,
that was
nice.
my weekend spent doing a lot of kitchen
Nice.
stuff. I freeze all the pasta, which is great because then you have, fresh frozen pasta, and
Mm-hmm.
then it cooks really quickly too. So
Yep.
and we like doing pasta dishes. So yeah, I used some like just over 3 dozen eggs or something this weekend in
Nice.
in all of my. But I hate stuff going to waste, so I'd rather
Yeah,
just use it and put it away for something that we're gonna end up eating later anyway. So
exactly. Exactly. And that's a great thing about having like the freezer. If you have freezer space for it, why not?
yeah.
And if you're making it, then you can control sort of the portion size, right? So you can portion it off for like 2 servings for you guys, and then you just
Hmm.
pull the package out and okay, look, this is dinner portioned. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Uh,
nice.
yeah.
Nice, nice. Well, I suppose we should probably get to some knitting content
Yeah. I got some too.
or fibercraft content or, you know, whatever it is that we're talking about related to the store. Store stuff. We got store stuff to talk
We
about.
got store stuff too.
Awesome.
Hmm.
All right. So now I have my glasses to take off, so I'm going to give the 2 thumbs up so I can find this later to splice it apart,
Excellent.
make it eat my job easier. All right.